Okay, so the best way to demonstrate how you can leverage our data is by analyzing a company. So for today's webinar, I chose to analyze Few Direct, and this is some kind of a Airbnb-like website. And before jumping into Similarweb Pro platform and start analyzing the site, I want just to review the kind of questions that I would like to answer and actually how I can evaluate this online business performance. So my key questions are, first, who is their target audience? Are they targeting consumers or B2B, partners, advertisers, etc.? And because it's a marketplace, I want to know if they're targeting buyers, sellers, or both. What is like their main target audience? The second question that I would like to answer is, what is the company's business model? Does the company sell a service, a product? Does it generate revenue from driving traffic to other sites like affiliate? Or does it capitalize its traffic by selling ad space? And the third question will be, which business metrics are driven by online metrics and can be a trajectory of growth or decline? And this what will help me understand which metrics I should look at in the platform. Should it be the visits, the uniques, bounce rate, engagement metrics, and others? So let's just jump to the site and start to see what kind of data we can figure out just by viewing the site. So now I'm in the site, Few Direct. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And just for looking at the homepage of the site, and just by looking at the messaging of the site and the copy and the call to action, I can understand that first their main target audience are consumers who are looking to book their travel. So the first action that they want me to do here, and basically like this is like the main action, is just to search, to query some kind of, I can add here the location and the dates, and they want me to search in the website. This is the first action. Here on the right hand side, you can see really in small, they have they are referring to sellers, to homeowners who want to provide their home rental. So this is the main audience of the platform, consumer, and the secondary audience is actually the rentals. So I will just start by just navigating through the website and understand what the user experience is like. So let's say now I want to find places in Tel Aviv, and here I'm based out of Tel Aviv, by the way, and I just add here the dates and search. And now I got to the search results. Now what I would see here are the search results for all the vacation rentals that are available in Tel Aviv in those dates. So for me, in order to actually book some kind of a home rental from here, I will need to view at least 2 pages, if not more, at least 3 pages, because now I need to click on one of those rentals. And to actually to book my travel here, I will need to view at least 3 pages in this website. So for me, when I'm going to analyze this site and understand how many out of the overall visits to the sites, how many are actually engaged and are more likely to make some kind of action, some kind of purchase, let's say. So these are the metrics that I would want to look at. And again, it's really important just to see that I'm still in the same website. I didn't redirect it into a different website. So this is the website that I'm analyzing, and the kind of action that they will want me to do is first to search, to have a certain query, and then to choose one of those search results in order to book my travel or to connect to the seller. And this is one. And the second thing that I can see from this website are, if you look here, we can see that they are part of Home Away family, which means they are part of a big parent company, Home Away, which is very familiar. And by the way, if I click here on the language, and I can see all of the countries that they operate in. So this tells me a lot about the type of company and what is the actual resources that they might have because they are part of a big company. Now, because HomeAway family they're a public company, part of Expedia. Expedia acquired them a few years ago, so I can understand a lot more about the type of business model and about the business challenges that they have. And I have some slides here to summarize it. So once I figured out that they're part of HomeAway family and I know that they're part of Expedia, I can search for more information about the company. What resources would I use to search for the company? I use usually Crunchbase just to see the timeline of the company, to see when it was acquired, for how much, and details about like the management and so on. And the most valuable, I think, resource that you can find online is the 10K report. And in the 10K report, I can really understand how do they describe their business and their business model, and most importantly, what are their risk factors. So what I learned from going over HomeAway is that they're actually moving into a commerce-based model. So they are until recently they used to charge property managers in advance for listing their property on basically on their search results. So they are now moving from an advertisement model into a commerce-based model. So now they are actually going to charge travelers a fee every time they book their rental. So this business is now shifting, and this is like their challenge at the moment. But for now, they still have two revenue streams. Both of them are still from the owner managers, the property owner managers. So I Googled a bit and I found this page for the owner pricing. And here I found two business models that they have, two pricing models. The first one is subscription based. Annual subscription for almost $400 for their listing. And the second option that they have a pay-per booking. So every time someone book their rental, their property, they need to pay a minimum of 8% fee on each booking. So just by a bit researching online, you can understand a lot about their business model and challenges, and like we saw, the user experience and the target audience. Another great tool to use is Google Trends. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but basically Google Trends show you the search volume of each keyword or search term that you're searching for. So, for example, I took here Fear Direct and I took Airbnb in Germany, so you can filter by a specific country and for a specific time filter. So I chose to look at the past 5 years, and here you can see how the search volume has changed over the past 5 years, and Airbnb really grown tremendously in the past few years and surpassed Fear Direct in terms of market demand, because these are the things that people are searching for. It means that they know about this specific company, so they are familiar with this specific company, and also they are interested in its offering. So Google Trends is a really good way just to understand the type of market demand and brand awareness, and obviously to see trends over time. So this is an amazing tool. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend using it. And now, after we did like the initial research in the internet, we found like two key findings that will help us analyze this company within Similarweb Pro. So first, with the target audience, we saw that they are first targeting for travelers, and the secondary audience is property owners and managers. What is the company business model? We just went over that. And which business metrics are driven by online metrics? This is really important. So we saw, first we want to look at reach. So how many overall visits does this site have? And also how many unique visits it has. In terms of booking, we saw that a user needs to go through few pages at least in order to make a booking. So we would like to look at unbounced visits in order to assess the amount of booking that the site has. Stability, we would like to see which traffic channels this site is using in order to acquire audience. And we will want to see if they are relying more on organic or paid traffic channels. Also looking at search volume over time, as I just explained, search is a really good indicator of market demand. So we look what's going on in terms of brand demand for this company, and also in terms of market demand, in terms of the industry that they're part of, the travel, the hospitality sub-segment, and market share, to see what is their market share if we're benchmarking to direct competitors like Airbnb, and indirect competitors like all of the hotels and hospitality brands that are out there. So this is what we discovered so far, and now we will just move on and to see what exactly can we learn using Similarweb Pro, and I will just jump to the platform and I will just move on for a live demo. So this is the platform of Similarweb. I hope all of you are already familiar with the usability of the platform, but just like a quick review, we basically have here different models to each entity that we want to analyze. So an entity, online entity, can be a website or an app, and also we have industries and keywords. And here you have your own custom dashboard where you can customize graphs and widgets according to your own specific needs. The best way to start will be just using the search bar and to search for the site that you're looking to analyze. So I'm looking to analyze Fear Direct, so I will just type it here and click on enter. Now I'm going to analyze this site and see what kind of data is available to me and what I can learn from it, what kind of insights I can gain from it. Let's wait a few seconds for it to load. Just about the usability of the platform really quickly, here you can filter for a specific time frame that you're looking to analyze. We have data, historical data for last 36 months. So you can choose either last 36 months or either custom range for a specific time frame. And we also have last 28 days, which show you basically what's going on in real time. And we have a country filter. So for each country, we provide data for. So now today we are in Germany, so I'll just click on Germany, or I can just leave it as worldwide. But for now, I will just focus on Germany. And immediately I will see a website overview, very broad overview. And it's also available for you to export it to Excel, to PDF, and share it with your colleagues, with your team, with your management. So very broad overview of the site. Here I have a description of the site. I have all the data points of the website audience, the total visits, the amount of traffic that they generate, the traffic split between desktop and mobile web, the engagement metrics, and a lot of data here about the site. I won't go into that now because I will just drill into each one of these features separately. So I will just start now. Go to website audience and just drill into the traffic and engagement. Okay, so what do we see here? So the first thing that we see are the total visits to the site in the past 3 months. So now I'm analyzing May until July 2017 and looking at the traffic only in Germany. And from here I can see that they have almost 12 million visits in this time frame. And I can also see here the trends from the past month. So what has changed month over month? So it's almost 20% increase traffic from June to July. And second thing that I will see is what is the split of traffic between desktop and mobile web. This will help me just understand the way that audience are using this site. Are they usually go to the website through desktop or mobile web, which will really will have an effect about the user experience. So here you can see that 60% of the traffic actually comes from mobile web and only 40% comes from desktop. And if I will scroll down, I can see here the engagement metrics of the site and also over time. So now I can see the monthly visits. So almost 4 million monthly visits this site generates each month in the past 3 months. I can also see the monthly unique visits. I can see the average visit duration, pages per visit, and bounce rate. And why is those metrics are so interesting to me and so important to me? So while visiting in the site, we already saw that for someone to make some kind of booking, he needs to view at least 3-4 pages, something like that. And here, the average pages per visit is almost 10 pages, which is amazing. It means that the audience that come to the website is really engaged with the website and engaged enough in order to make some kind of action. Also here the average visit duration I have and the bounce rate. Bounce rate meaning if someone came to the website and didn't continue to view another page, then it will be considered as bounce. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this data in order to further analyze this site into a more in-depth. So what I will do, I will click on here and export this data to Excel. And then I can manipulate the data a bit. So I already exported everything in advance just to save time. What do I see here? So I took the past 12 months from last August to this July, and I looked at what are the monthly visits in each month, and also what is the bounce rate in each month, and unique visitors. And then what I did, I created two more metrics, two new metrics. So the first one will be unbounced visits. What does it mean? It means that I want to look at the overall visits, but to remove the bounce visit, because 30% of the visits that came to the website didn't continue to view another page, meaning they didn't create any kind of query. So for me, they just came to the website, they viewed the first page, and they just left. They didn't took any kind of action. So for me, it's just like a waste of visits. So I just want to remove them. So this is why I calculated the unbounced visits. And the way to calculate it is basically to do 1 minus the bounce rate and to multiply by the number of visits. So this is my unbounced visits. So this is the actual reach of the website, the engaged visits. And then I did the same for the unique visits. So we have one way to look at the overall visit, and we can look at the monthly unique visits. So I did the same exact methodology: 1 minus bounce rate multiplied by the number of visits. And now, from now, I want to add more additional layers of data in order to assess the number of bookings that the company have, and also to try to evaluate the kind of revenue that the company generates. So what did I do? So those here in pink, orange, the way that you view this color. So these are just like data points that I made up. These are from the top of my mind. You can find those kind of data points through other tools. I just used Google and look what is the benchmark in the industry, and read a bit about Airbnb and also about this site, and from there I gathered the data. But this is definitely something just for the sake of the example. Shouldn't count on it. You can use your own data points for this example. So what did I do? I added the conversion rate. I want to understand out of the people that came to the website, how many actually converted. So made a purchase. So here I added 5% conversion rate. This is that was my assumption. From the conversion rate, I can actually calculate the number of bookings. So how many bookings this site had in each month. So I multiply the unbounced unique visits by the conversion rate. And now here I will have the number of bookings of each month. And then I added the average daily rate for booking one night. So what is usually the night rate, daily rate? So I found $155. And then I also wanted to know, when someone book a travel, what is the average days that they book? And I found the number 5. Again, very rough estimation. And then I know that their average service fee is about 9%. So I added this also. And now I add the booking value. So now I could calculate the booking value of each month. So I took the average days that are booked, 5 multiplied by 145, and so this is the booking value, so 5 times 155. And now I have the revenue per user, or the revenue per booking. So I took the booking value and I multiplied by the average service fee. And from here, now I can calculate the amount of revenue if I calculate the revenue per user multiplied by the number of booking. And this is my estimation for the company's revenue. And I can just put it on a graph and see what has changed over time in terms of the company's revenue. You can see January was a really big month for them. Everything went really well. And here you can see maybe if it's a reason of seasonality or what's going on, but you can see that apart from January, it's not that, so apart from January, which went very well, it's not that stable. So each month it's changed a bit. Any questions so far before we are moving on? Just feel free to type it. I will always go back and see if you have any questions. So that was about how you can extract the data from the platform, add more additional layer of data that you have from different resources, and manipulate this data in order to assess how the company is successful in terms of revenues, conversion, whatever the action may be, whatever the target of analyzing the company will be. And here also, what is really cool that I can look is to compare this view here. So now I'm looking at the visits in the last 3 months. What is really important for me to see how the website has changed or grew year over year. So really simply, I will show you a trick. You just filter the time frame to a specific time frame that you want to analyze, and to view compared to previous year or compared to previous period. So I would choose compared to previous year. And then now what I'm analyzing, basically I'm analyzing the time frame of 12 months from August to July. Once I'm looking at 2015, 2016, and the second time frame is 2016 to 2017. And this shows me year over year how the site grew in overall visits. And here we see that it grew by 7.5%. If I scroll down, I can see what has changed month over month. So in each month, what was the difference last year and this year in terms of the visits to the website? So if we look at January, so January this year was a big success. We saw that it grew year over year by almost 30%. But in the past months, so May, June, and July, we're actually seeing that they're doing that they lost a lot of traffic if you compare it to last year. So almost 18%. So 12, 15, and 18% lost in traffic compared to last year. So now they are not growing as they used to like last year. So this can be a reason of a concern. I can also change the graph to look if the decrease in traffic actually came from desktop or mobile web, and maybe sometimes here I will find the reasons for the decrease. So if I'm looking at the past 3 months, I can see that the decrease was almost evenly from desktop and mobile web. Also in June, May is actually really interesting. I can see that there was a bigger decrease in desktop than mobile web. So from here, I can learn a lot about what has changed in terms of the growth of or decline of the company, and also what was the factors of this trend. So this is one way to look at that. A second way to look at that is to jump into the traffic sources and to analyze the traffic sources of this website and see exactly where do they get their traffic from, how do they actually acquire users, how users actually come and visit the site. So I navigated to marketing mix under traffic sources. And here in marketing mix, I'm able to see the traffic breakdown between 7 different traffic sources. So I have here direct, email, referrals, social, organic search, paid search, and display ads. Those are our 7 traffic channels. What I can see from here is that they rely heavily on 3 main channels. Direct traffic, which means if someone type the name of their website directly into their browser, or they saved it into their bookmarks, and this is usually indicates high brand awareness and also repeating users because it saves on their browser. So this is direct, and I can see that 30% of their traffic comes from direct. Then we have referrals, also 30% traffic. Referrals are sites that are referring traffic to the analyzed site. So now we're looking at pure direct. So the type of the referrals that it could receive from aggregators in the travel industry like Expedia or Kayak or Skyscanner, or bloggers that recommended this website, or some kind of a PR article. So any kind of websites that referring traffic to our analyzed site. And then we also see that search here is pretty significant. We see organic search is accountable for 26% of the traffic, and paid search for almost 10% of the traffic. So the difference between organic and paid search is if I'm now searching for cheap flights or whatever, the first results will be paid. So this is ad here. All the search results that you see that they are tagged with this ad, these are paid results. Usually will be 3 to 4 the first results, and the other ones here, these are organic results. And so here I can see that almost 26% of the traffic comes from organic and almost 10% from paid search. It means that they're putting efforts into optimizing their site to the search engine and also on bidding on strategic keywords. And we can zoom into that and see exactly how do they do that. So this is just an overview of the site. We like to call it the DNA of the website. If I would scroll down, I would be able to see what has changed over time in the site marketing strategy or acquisition strategy, because the first graph here, this is an aggregated view for the past 12 months. So this is like the average for the past 12 months. If I'm looking at this channel analysis graph, this is how I can see what has changed over time. So month over month, what was the traffic distribution between the different channels. So what immediately I can see, which is pretty surprising, is that from February 2017, they really increased their traffic from referrals. So referrals is this line, the orange line. And now it's the main traffic channel to their website, and by far. So this is the graph, the orange graph of the referrals, which is the highest, and these are everyone else, which is really surprising. It means that now direct traffic and organic search traffic are pretty low in terms of traffic channels, and referrals is the main traffic generator. It's surprising because first I can see that in the past, direct and organic traffic were responsible for the majority of the traffic to the website, and over time it decreased tremendously. So this decrease in direct and organic search suggests a decrease in market demand and awareness. So this is, for me, when I'm analyzing a company, this is really concerning because I see that they are losing power. They are losing their organic resources. They're basically they're losing their brand demand. Now this is really interesting. So I would want to zoom in to each one of the traffic sources, maybe understand more about what exactly changed in their strategy. So I will start with referrals. I will just navigate to referrals here. And here in referrals, I can see what are the overall visits in terms of numbers from referrals and what has changed over time. So we saw that earlier from February, they started getting more and more traffic from referrals. So this is what we can see here. And if I will scroll down, here I can see the list of all domains that refer traffic to the website. So almost 1,800 websites that refer traffic to Fuel Direct. And now what I can see the traffic share of each website. What does it mean? It means that Home2Go is responsible for 14% of the referral traffic to the website. HomeAway is accountable for 11%. So here I have the list of the domains, and here how much of their traffic they are sending to the analyzed site. And here the change columns show me what has changed from last month. So which domains gained are actually sending more traffic compared to previous month. And this is really interesting. But I would like to do to take it a step forward and to analyze it deeper. So again, what I would do, I would export this data to Excel, because now I'm looking at the average of last 12 months and I want to see what has changed exactly in February. Excuse me. So I exported this to Excel, again in advance just to save time. When you export this to Excel, you're actually getting this monthly data. So the best way to view this data and to analyze it is actually to do a pivot table. So I created a pivot table from this. This is the data that you get when you export to Excel. And when you create a pivot table, you will put the months here in the rows and the domains here in the columns and the traffic share here as your value. So what do we see here? So if we look at Home2Go, which we saw that it was the main traffic generator to this website relative to the other referral sites. So Home2Go was responsible 12 months ago to 33% of the referral traffic, 36, 39, and actually there was a time in January that this site was responsible for almost 50% of the overall referral traffic to the website. Now, I know Home2Go, and Home2Go, it's an aggregator for this home rental, for all those home rentals properties. So I know when users come from this website, I can assume that the quality of traffic from this website is really good, right? Because the audience is very relevant. It's audience with high intent because they are looking to book their travel in some kind of a home rental. So I know that this audience is probably quality, is of quality. But what worries me if I'm analyzing this site and I see that referrals is such a main traffic generated to the site, and one website is accountable for almost 50% of the site traffic, of the site referral traffic, I'm worried that if this partnership wouldn't go well, they will lose a lot of their traffic because they're putting all of their eggs in one basket, which in this case is Home2Go. But from here, what I can see first that was a really main that it was a really main partner for them for referral traffic. But from March, we saw that we see here that they decreased the amount of traffic that they are getting for this website, and now it's accountable for only 1 to 3% of the referral traffic, while in the past it was accountable for 50% of the referral traffic. So this is an interesting trend just to identify and see exactly how did it affect the quality of the traffic that the site generates. So we'll look into that in a minute. But what else I can see that also here I have HomeAway, which is like the dollar company. We also see this trend here as well. So they also like reduce the amount of visits that they're getting from this site. And everything that you see here in pink, that I colored in pink, these are new websites because we saw that there was a big spike in traffic from referrals, right? So I want to see exactly which new partners they collaborate with to generate more traffic and how did it work for them, if it was high quality or not. So here I can see all of the new websites that starting from March 2017 started to receive traffic. And here I have a big list of sites, which from the other end, from one end, it's good because they're now relying on not on one website for referral, but they have a network of referring websites. But I would want to see exactly what was the result of this shift in partnership. Did it generate high quality traffic or not? So I will go back to the platform and go back to marketing mix. And in marketing mix, what I would do, I will go back to our graph to see what has changed over time. And you can see that now I'm looking what has changed over time in terms of visits. I can do the same for engagement metrics, like average visit duration, pages per visit, and bounce rate. Now I will show you a trick. You can just click on those ones because it's a bit noisy. I want to concentrate just to focus on referrals, right? So I'll just click on each one and they will be hidden. And now I'm looking only at referral traffic and see what has changed in terms of average visit duration. So what I can see here that until February they had a really engaged audience. So about 13 minutes, 15 minutes. The average was 13 minutes when a user came to the platform, to the site. And now it actually reduced to 3 minutes average, 3.5 minutes average. When people come to the website, they spend 3 to 6 minutes in the website. So this is a big, big, big decline. And we can just pinpoint exactly what was the reason for that. So we just identified that which referrals they stopped working with and which other referrals they started working with, and we can see what was the effect of this change in marketing strategy. So it was obviously not that smart step for them, but this is the stuff of insights that I would like to discover when I'm analyzing a company in terms of what is the stability of the company and what types of quality of visits they generate, and if they are investing resources on organic traffic or paid traffic. So we already identified we identified also that they started losing traffic from search. Search and direct were the two traffic sources that really declined over the past 12 months, and these are the types of traffic sources that for me, for a company, if they are high, it means that the company is is getting their brand out there. People know the brand, people are searching for the brand. So let's drill into search and see what else I can find out about the shift in brand awareness and brand demand. So like I zoomed into referral, now I can zoom into search. And here in this search feature, there is an amazing data that you can analyze specifically if you're working with a team of SEO and PPC and content. So there is a lot to do here. I'm just going to quickly show you the keywords, the list of keywords the company is getting traffic from, because I want to answer a very specific question about what happened in terms of market demand. But for the guys of you who are doing performance marketing, this is definitely a really good feature for you to spend a lot of time with and to gain more insights. So now I'm looking at the list of keywords. So over 60K keywords that generated traffic to the website. And we can see that Fear Direct, this is the branded search term, and it's responsible for a quarter of the traffic to the website. And again, the same tactic that I did in referrals, I will do here. Now I'm looking at 12 months. So this is the average for the past 12 months. I want to see what has changed over time. So again, here I will export to Excel. And now when I export to Excel, I did, in addition to the pivot, I did another manipulation on the data. So the first thing that I did is a pivot table. Here I have the months, and here I have the search terms, and here I have the value, the traffic share. Now, the traffic share by itself, it's not enough for me to see the exact, the actual traffic that the site generates from each search term. Because it can be consistently 20%, but it doesn't mean anything in terms of the actual traffic. So what I did here, I copied here the months of the year, and I added the overall search visits to the website. And what I did, I multiply the overall search visits by the traffic share. So now I can see for each keyword how many monthly visits it generated. So not only in terms of traffic share, and traffic share is relative to the other keywords in the list, but in terms of actual visits. So what we can see here, we can see that August last year was really good in terms of brand demand. A lot of people searched for this traffic share, and we see that it generated 200,000 search visits. And then September, October, November, probably it's a matter of seasonality. There was like a decrease in this search term. In the traffic from this search term. January, we saw earlier, January was the best month of the year, and we can also see it here. Probably they did a big campaign in January because this keyword suddenly generated 250,000 visits, which is amazing. But what we can discover here is that from April, the amount of traffic that they're getting from their search term is very, very low compared to the other months of the year. And also I can do the same compared to previous year in the same time frame and actually see the year over year. But here I can see that they suffered a lot. It means that less people are getting to this site through branded search terms, which means that less people are also searching for this company. And actually, just to give it like another, just to strengthen this assumption, I can see it through looking at the direct traffic. So we saw that direct traffic also really, really decreased. And here I can see that also in terms of search terms. So this is a really big indication of of a lose of brand strength. I will just pause again just to see if you have any questions. Please feel free to type any questions that you have in mind. I hope everyone can hear me and see my screen. And I will look at the questions in a few more minutes. I just want to be cautious of time. We only have a few minutes left, so I will be quick and just jump into how to evaluate market share. So that was about analyzing a company, looking at the traffic and engagement and the traffic sources, and just to qualify each one of the traffic sources. We have a lot more things that you can learn on the website here, like the website content and so on. There's a lot more to discover, but I will just jump to see how you can customize your own competitive landscape. So I will just jump to industry analysis. And industry analysis give you a view of the top websites in each category and in each country. So now I'm looking at the travel category, and here we have our own categories, Similarweb categories that you can choose from. So we have travel, and we have also accommodation and hotels. So we have the subcategories here. So I can just choose the accommodation and hotels. And here in the country filter, I'm still in Germany, so I will type Germany, and I will immediately skip to top websites. And top websites here will show me the leading websites in terms of visits to the accommodation and hotels industry in Germany. So here we see Booking.com has 18% traffic share, Trivago almost 5%, Airbnb also the same, and FreeDirect has 2.66%. And here I have 10,000 websites which are the leading websites. But if I'm looking at FreeDirect main competitors, so Booking.com is actually indirect competitor, Airbnb is direct competitor. Here I can maybe see sites that maybe are not direct competitors to my industry. So what I would like to do here is just to scan the list. I can also export this to Excel and just take just the websites that I think that are relevant to my custom industry. And I already did that. And I created my own custom industry, and I called it a vacation rental in Germany. And now I built my own custom category, and I have here Airbnb, FreeDirect, and those companies, Couchsurfing. Those are my direct competitors. By the way, in order to create a category, your own custom category, just click here, plus new category, just add the name of the category, and just copy paste or enter paste the list of domains. You can add up to 100 websites. And this will be now my custom category. And here I have like a really good view of how much traffic each one of those websites generate into the overall industry. So if you combine this percentage, this is the 100%. This is the whole pie, the whole pie, and this is the share of traffic, basically market share that each one of the companies generate. So Airbnb is the market leader with 44% market share. FreeDirect is the second one with 25% market share, and then you have the rest. So this is traffic share, which is a really good indicator of market share. Here I can see what has changed from last month, what are the monthly visits, and the engagement metrics are here for each one of the sites. And then I can actually benchmark if 24% bounce rate, is it good or is it bad? And while looking at my competitors, I can really assess how am I doing, how do I stack up against my other competitors. And this view is actually looking at July 2017. So every month we will have a view of the previous month. And this is really interesting, but for me, again, I would like to see what has changed over time. So what I would do, I would jump to category share. And within category share, I will be able to filter for a longer period of time. So let's say last 18 months, so we can see what has changed year over year. And here I have my list of my websites. And here in this graph, I have 100 stack graph, that shows me what is changed over time in a daily, weekly, or monthly granularity. I will change to monthly just for it to be easier on the eye. And from here, I can really quickly see which websites gained or lost market share over time. So Airbnb is really growing. So July 2017, last month, they had a 44% traffic share. If we look at July 2016, they had 33% market share. So it's 10% increase in market share over the past 12 months, year over year. So this is amazing. And this is, for me, really easy to discover. I'm just doing, excuse me, I'm just building my own category of websites that I want to monitor. And this is why I can monitor and understand what has changed in the competitive landscape. What are the forces which players are actually gaining share or losing share? Just to go back and just to see what have we learned in this webinar. So what can you learn about a company using Similarweb? We identify how you can assess the company's revenue, how you can assess the company's growth over time, the company marketing strategy and stability, the company's brand demand, the company's market share over time and competitive landscape, and also market trend.